It's time. It is time to decide if the SG stays or if the SG goes. Actually, it's 12:53. So a little over a month ago, I ended up getting this 2020 SG Standard. So the Standard is pretty much a no bells and whistles, just a straight up rock machine, which is really all that I wanted. Now, I had an SG 3 years ago, didn't vibe with it, sold it, but I've always just loved the way an SG sounds and the way an SG looks. And I was like, I want to give it one more chance because SG's always just felt weird for me to play. I was like, who knows, maybe this is the time that I'm going to like it. But I gave myself the limitation of I need 1 month to decide what either you like it or you don't, and then you just close the books, sell it, and move on to some other guitars that I'd like to make videos about. So before I reveal the answer, leave a comment down below what you think. Is it gonna stay? Is it gonna go? Like I said, let me know down below. Wow, all these rhyming words, they have to stop. And let's get to the video. So here's what I found out about SGs. And I did want to add in here that this video is not sponsored in any way. I have no association with Gibson. This is a guitar we bought ourselves at normal pricing. So if you want to check it out, I do have a link down below as well. And let's get in this. Now, one of the weirdest things about the SG is that it doesn't feel weird anymore. I've always complained an SG feels like your hand is shifted forward. I didn't understand why suddenly, after all these years of feeling that way, it felt more normal. It was a little bit strange, but not as severe. Like when I got my first SG, it was really, really far forward to where it was just uncomfortable for me to play. But all of a sudden, it wasn't that weird anymore. And I'm like, what changed? And someone left a comment and mentioned another guitar that I had gotten. They're like, well, your hand sits a little bit forward on that one, and I bet that's why suddenly now the SG doesn't feel weird anymore, because this is kind of the middle ground between the Les Paul and the SG. It was this guitar. So oddly enough, it was my PRS. I got my PRS CE probably 2 years ago or something like that. And at the time, I remember feeling it was a little bit strange. It wasn't that big of a difference to overcome, but it felt like my hand was a little bit forward. In SG, my hand felt really far forward, almost like the whole guitar was just shifted this way. But the PRS wasn't as severe, so I adapted to it rather quickly. And I never really kind of made the connection that, oh, well, maybe that made it so that this one didn't feel as severe. I kind of was warming myself up to an SG by getting the PRS. So, it's kind of ironic that another guitar brand is what made me like the SGs again, but I'm almost positive that's exactly why now whenever I'm playing this thing, it doesn't feel weird anymore. It just feels very, very natural. So the final two areas, and possibly the main two areas, is the sound and the vibe. Now when I say vibe, I mean just the way that it feels when you're playing it. Is it inspiring you to play maybe different ideas, or maybe just inspiring you to play music in general? And I feel like that's probably the most important area, is if it does that, it's probably worth hanging on to. But the other thing that I have to kind of consider is, does it sound different enough to, say, a Les Paul? So let's find out. what did you guys think? Because I thought that the SG sounded noticeably different. It's not a, which one's better, which one's worse. I thought the Les Paul sounded, pretty big. And the SG sounded big, but almost in like a more refined way. I don't know how to, just the mid-range was a little bit different. But, and I have this lower gain tone going on, which I think works really well with both guitars, but the SG in particular really seems to like this kind of... And that sound, the middle position I thought sounded great as well. And then the neck. The neck was killing it as well. So I think that it sounds different. I think that there is a total ground to stand on to be like, it doesn't sound like a Les Paul, it sounds like an SG. And when it comes to the inspiring factor, it's been inspiring all kinds of riffs, all kinds of songs out of me. Like, the whole thing that we just played here. Well, that doesn't sound like an SG song, does it? But hey, I just kind of rolled with it. I was originally going to do all that stuff with the Strat, and I'm like, just use the SG. And it did it. I was like, it kind of can do it all. So, super inspiring. No regrets about this guy. And that's gonna settle it. So I'd say now, based on what I've said, you can probably guess that the SG, it has to go. I'm just kidding. It's gonna stay. I love it. It's great. I have like I said, I've been playing it a ton. It's been really inspiring. It doesn't feel weird anymore. That's such a crucial component, because I had the other SG for probably 6-7 months, something like that. So this one's staying. It's a keeper. I was kind of looking forward to getting some other guitars. I'm actually selling some stuff to fund getting a couple of other guitars that I want to get to make videos on. But the SG, it's here to stay. So if you guys would, subscribe, hit the like button. You can check out the links in the description if you want to support the channel. And other than that, hey, have a great day. Peace, homies. Woo!